Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri, Gurave Namaha. My pranams to all. So, how is it going? Any insights? Any questions? Any teaching that is required? What more do you want to learn? Is the session helping? What is the, or if it has, what is the clarity that it has got, and what is the clarity that is required more?
I think the nature of these sessions is that when the session is happening and when the discussion is happening, it answers a lot of questions, and it kind of has a soothing and a healing effect. But after the session is over, when after a few hours, when it starts to kind of fade away, then a new session is required again. So it's like a drug. A constant supply is required for this to kind of get drilled into the head. So even if something repeats in sessions, even that is helpful, because the frequency helps a lot. The constant discussion, the constant interaction with the same messaging also helps.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. But what is the messaging that is helping? What is that message? Is it at one level, because naturally we feel when there's a group of people that we like, and we're just discussing, regardless of what conversation is happening, you feel elated and you feel more secure and more calm.
Yeah. What happens is that so let's say we have discussed concept. Let's say we have discussed you're not the body, right?
Yeah.
In that session, you will start to detach from that concept. After a few hours, you'll start to attach back. And then there's a surge of questions and emotions that'll arise, which will calm down in the next session again. And then that detachment process happens again. And there are no more questions. So it's that sine wave.
Yeah.
And so if this continues, so I've tried this out, like if I watch those videos continuously, 1 day, 2 day, or maybe repeated twice a day also. That has the more I do it, the more lasting effect it has. It's the gap that is the problem. That's for me here.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, that's how the spiritual journey is. And we'll probably talk more about the spiritual journey. So initially it starts off like that, where it's like riding a bicycle. You need those 2 extra wheels initially, and then slowly as you master it, you don't need the wheels, and then there'll come a stage when you'll put your hands behind your head and ride the bicycle. Right? So the idea is go, touch consciousness, come back, go, touch consciousness, come back, and eventually go and never come back. And then you become completely independent. That's the whole purpose of the sessions and the hand holding, or the guru or the teaching or the scripture, anything. So whatever the masters created, be it Buddha or anybody, they created a system using which we can hold until you can become completely independent. So Nishant has joined. Nishant?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hi. We can't see you. Are you able to go on video?
1 second, sir. I'm just trying it.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yes.
So I was just asking what insight have these sessions brought? Is it useful, and what questions? See, because there is nothing much more. There's nothing more to tell in spirituality. Spiritual teaching is very simple. You are the supreme consciousness. You are thinking. You are the body, mind, intellect. To tell the same thing, we use different languages, methods, practices, and different paths. So it's important to get some feedback from your end. Is there some illumination?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Definitely.
So what is the insight so far?
What I feel is, sir, I need to listen to you more and more. So to reinforce all that.
Yeah, that's a good insight to listen to the teaching more and more. Yeah.
Sir, because as I said earlier, after the sessions, I tend to go back to the normal way of life. So it's very important to.
Right. Yeah, we were discussing the same thing. We listen and it becomes clear. Again, we go back. Again, the same patterns start.
Yes, sir.
Until the point we completely become free. But do you think, question to all, is it possible to completely become free? Did you think the going and coming back was possible?
Yes, sir, that is possible, I guess.
Going and coming back seems more possible.
Yeah, that's in the experience. That's something we are experiencing right now.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, whatever you're experiencing right now, do you think this itself was possible for you?
No, I didn't think so before I started coming to these sessions.
To come to a stage of just listening and understanding the truth that you're not the body, mind, intellect.
Yeah.
Is the first stage, and then slowly that understanding settles down and solidifies.
Yeah, I think I agree with what Vivek said. It's more of a reinforcement of message, because as soon as we go back, it's again the same life and same emotions, same everything. But with this reinforcement of message, what it helps me to do is I try to remind myself to detach from that.
Right.
And I think that is what helps actually. And
Right.
I hope that becomes more of a permanent feature rather than consciously reminding myself, that hey,
Right.
no, this is not you are doing it. So you kind of have to make and that doesn't happen immediately, right? Immediately emotions come, and then
Yeah.
after some time you try to disassociate yourself from that. So I still hope there's a lot yet to kind of become this as a permanent feature. So
So to make it a permanent feature, the solution is very, very simple.
mm,
Have you heard of a swear jar?
square jar,
Swear jar. Swear.
square jar. No, I don't know.
So many parents have this concept. They'll keep a jar. It's called a swear jar. Whenever the child swears, they have to put money into the jar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so whatever they've earned from their pocket money, if they swear, if they say a bad word, put $1, $2 into the jar, and by some time they'll run out of all their money, and they'll stop swearing. So keep a swear jar at home, and you have seen the hundi at the temple. It's called a hundi. In temples, when you go, there's a jar.
गुल्लक हम लोग गुल्लक रखते थे ना घर में.
Wait, You know why that is kept? Where you put
No,
money.
I thought it was to save money earlier.
It's in temples usually they keep like in any temple you go, there's a a box where you put money. You know why that's kept? Not that because God wants money. You have to put money. It is the swear jar is a ancient Indian concept, wherein every time, see, money is the one that causes most pain
Mhm.
to all of us. To become when we're cheated of money, even when we go to a small store, if we lose, if we feel we're cheated by 2 rupees, also we feel, very bad. So every time you say, "I am doing this," put 1 rupee into the avidya jar. Because avidya means you've thought that you are doing it. You are the doer. We'll only look at doership. Every time you say, "I ate," you can say "I ate," but when you believe that yourself, "I did this. I did that long time ago to this person." Guilt. So put 1 rupee into the avidya jar. So after some time, your entire salary will not be enough. Do you think it's possible? So
I think we do it so
Vivek,
many times in the day that we
that's
will
why I
really.
said your salary won't be enough.
So Mamta, to make life easier for you, because you're my neighbor,
Yeah.
I'll come like 4 times in a day to your house to collect the money.
Yeah, sure. You can do it for both of us.
Trust me, this is the simplest way to enlightenment. After losing 10,000 rupees in the avidya jar, you will never make the mistake of telling I did something.
Where will that jar go? That will still be with me only, no?
No,
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 I'll
you
keep it for
cannot
you.
keep the jar. You can go after the month is over. You go and donate it somewhere. So you have a buy one get two offer. You
Oh,
will become, you will evolve, and you will also do donation.
donation. Okay.
I'm seriously telling.
Okay.
Keep a avidya jar. Every
Sin
time you think I am the
sin
doer,
jar. It's a sin jar.
sin jar. The biggest sin is to tell I am the doer. So
Mm.
every time you tell I am the doer, put 1 rupee. And by the end of the week, by the end of the day itself, after you've lost enough money, you will never make the mistake of telling I am the doer.
I think that's a good idea. I'll try. I'm anyways a baniya, so I can't lose too much money. So I'll quickly learn.
Yeah, your enlightenment will be very fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Surekha, what is the insight? Makes sense?
Yeah, I agree with everyone. But I guess for me, because of Zen writing and the mindfulness, it still somehow kind of connects and keeps me in touch.
Okay.
And but I mean, I agree with everyone else when we say that you come and go, or rather, it comes and goes. It's not very easy to sustain it.
Okay.
Say when I'm not journal writing or I'm outside, I'm working or something else. So my question is, how do we sustain it, and also how do we use these situations function? I think I asked this question last time also in the previous session. As to how do we kind of function in the world with this approach, and is it even possible to kind of function normally using this approach? Because I mean, if I start talking like my mind thinks like that and thinks that I think people are going to think something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
There's that, but there's also, of course, like a lot of. Sometimes I know that when I'm interacting with people, there's like, okay, should I react or respond in that way or this way? And there's like a lag then, and then people end up writing their own stories because they don't really understand what I'm thinking or saying, and that just becomes like a whole lot of confusion and.
Right. That's very good. But wasn't the answer clear about the reaction part from the last answer?
Yeah. kind of forgotten a little bit of it. But that's the thing. I mean,
You don't have to
okay.
speak to people in this language. Don't have to
Yeah, I
say,
know.
my body is going, my mind is eating. This is for
Yeah.
you to know.
Yeah.
You must never delude yourself.
So the more I say, when I'm in the situation and I say, I am doing this, like it's like conditioning, right? I mean, you get conditioned to eventually kind of think like that, and then you end up going back to the old pattern.
Yeah.
So I guess it comes with practice. I don't know. I can't think of anything else, any other way.
No, that's the beauty. Spirituality is not at all about practice. So we'll take up that today. Okay, we'll keep that thought. We'll come back to that. So Beena, any insights before we start? Beena, can you hear us? No, you're still on mute.
Is it audible?
Now, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's pretty much the same what Vivek and Mamta summed up. So
You can't copy answers.
No, I personally felt that that we keep going and coming back, or that. Am I audible now?
Yeah. Go on. I can hear you. Go on. Yes. You keep going and coming back.
Yeah. So the days that I used to attend sessions, so I would, I would be more aware and conscious of the fact that I'm not the doer. But I mean, after a few days, I tend to go back into the same. It's pretty much the same kind of emotions, and you tend to react. Somebody, says something like, you tend to react the way, like you go back to your old patterns. So that's what.
Right. So, is it safe to say that you were living a certain way of life?
Right.
Now, you are exposed to something beyond your normal way of life. You are able to understand it. You are able to appreciate it. You are able to probably even experience it, but temporarily.
Yeah.
Now, the journey is if you can extend that state and experience for a longer period, and probably eventually throughout your life.
Yes.
When it becomes now it's on and off. When it becomes a default setting, it is called enlightenment.
Yeah.
Okay. When it's on and off, it's called sadhana. Makes sense?
Yeah.
But this is the journey of everybody. This is not only not you and me or anybody, the other seekers. This is the spiritual journey.
Right.
It is going to be on and off, and slowly, gradually, it will become permanent, default setting. So our only response. So Buddha told a beautiful thing about the path. He told there are two mistakes that you can do on the path. One is not starting, not going on the spiritual path. Second mistake is not going all the way. Okay, so you have started the journey into enlightenment. So we'll make sure that you go all the way, and all the way is a place of no return, no coming back after that. So whatever you want to do it right now. Whatever you want to enjoy, all your desires, fulfill it right now, because after enlightenment, everything will change. You won't be you, God won't be God, world won't be world.
So how do we get to that stage, like, of no coming back?
How do we get? Now you tell me, how do we get? I've told you in so many classes already. How do we get?
To be consciously and aware, like every moment, or?
First of all, it's not getting. It's not something you get. To get means I don't have it now, and I will get it by doing something. So mukti, enlightenment, atma is not getting. It is recognizing that which is already there. Okay, so it's like this. There's a lady who is from a wealthy household. She has a diamond necklace. It's on her, but it's covered, and she starts panicking. Oh my God, I've lost the diamond necklace, and she breaks down, and everybody searches. And then finally, somebody sees a little bit of it glittering behind the cloth. Then they point out, is it that one? Is it the same thing that you're searching? Then she sees, oh, it's right there. Okay, this is the process of enlightenment. The realization, the Atman, the consciousness is already there. You are already that. It cannot be given to you. But you are so much in a state of panic that you have lost, you feel incomplete. Okay, and that when you are in such a state, people come and cool you down. That cooling down process is called sadhana. Okay, first cool down, calm down. And then when you're calm enough, you can just look, and it's right there. Okay, so the process is very simple. So what is the answer to the question? How do I reach there? Anybody? Surekha?
Sadhana, I guess.
Huh? What?
How do you reach where? How do you reach the state where you sustain it, where you are able to?
Yeah, how to reach the permanent state where there's no coming back? How do you reach the state of no coming back?
I guess you, like I said, you practice, but I think what you just said was when you calm yourself down, you realize that it's already there. You don't need to go looking for it. It's already there within us.
Right. So the process is called, in Vedanta it's called, or in the Bhagavad Gita or any scripture here, the process is known as Shravana, Manana, Nidhidhyasa. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
First thing is actually only this much. Can you all see this?
Yeah.
So this and this and this is already embedded in listening. So when you listen to the session, the contemplation is happening, and even the establishment is happening. So actually, there is only one, which is there's supposed to be a year. Okay. So what is the process to reach the state of no return?
Keep listening.
That's it. Shravana. It's called Shravana Matrena. Arjuna transcended just by listening to the Gita. There's no doing from Arjuna's part. So if you see the Bhagavad Gita, it's Bhagwan's Gita. Bhagwan is singing, Arjuna is listening. That's all. All the most profound and beautiful experiences that we have in life happen in non-doing. Sleep. Can you fall into sleep with action? By doing something, can you fall asleep? You have to let go and allow sleep to possess you. Right? Same way, when you're listening to music, you just listen and it transports you to a different world. So the listening of, so here the listening is special. It's called Shravana. Listening to the enlightened teaching brings the understanding and the realization immediately. Clear?
Yeah.
Any doubt? So in the very spiritual practices, then the question will come. oh, then why there are so many meditations, so much yoga, and people go to the mountain and everything? It's because they're not able to sit and listen. First thing, they're not able to sit. Because you have a tendency, you have to do something. The mind thinks whatever worthwhile is there to get in the world, it is got by effort. Correct? If you want to get a top job, you have to have this big CV and so many years of experience and recommendations and achievements and everything. So anything worthwhile means a lot of effort. So success is equal to effort. In spirituality, it's completely ulta. Success, enlightenment is equal to no effort, complete non-doing, just sitting and listening. That's why the Zen people have a beautiful teaching. Sitting silently, doing nothing, the spring will come and the grass will grow by itself. Have you heard of this? So even Ravana Maharshi used to say, just sit, summa iru. His teaching was, summa iru, vanda velaya par. Sit silently and focus on what you come here for, which is realizing your true nature. Is it clear? Shall we go ahead? Nishant sir, clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's see what is okay. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
You can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so have you heard this word?
Yeah, many times.
What is spirituality?
The journey of finding oneself.
What?
It's the journey of finding oneself.
Journey of finding oneself. Okay. Anybody else? Nishant, do you know what is spirituality? Huh?
So, spirituality is like you don't get adhered to the actions you do, and you are the non-doer, and realizing that you are not the doer of the actions. And
Okay. So you're not the doer. It's spirituality. Okay. So let's start with something more simpler. Sorry. Science. What is science? So there's science, there's religion, and then there is spirituality. The three different. Clear? What is science? Science is asking questions to trying to find the truth in objective reality in the world. Okay? And science always starts with what?
why or how? Hypothesis.
What is hypothesis?
A statement to where we can validate if it's true or not.
Assumption.
Assumption. It's a story. It's a story. It's a assumption. I start with an assumption, and then I do their experiment, and hopefully to reach a point where the assumption is true. Correct, Vivek?
Yeah.
Journey of science is, what is Big Bang? It's a hypothesis. It's a story.
Yeah.
Then you go on doing experiments, and people write papers and win Nobel Prizes, and poor children are tortured in school trying to learn all this. Okay, that's it. Science is some hypothesis, which is story, then do some experiments, arrive at some conclusion, and until the point if tomorrow somebody else comes and disproves that and tells no, this is false, this is true now. So Newtonian physics was the thing. Later comes quantum physics and tells no, all this is outdated, and brings in a new concept. Correct?
Yeah.
So science is that, and it's constantly changing. Somebody comes with a hypothesis, then that hypothesis goes false, then there's a new one, then that becomes false, then there's a new one, so on and so forth. But the beauty is, in the process of doing all this, they arrive at some science gives some formulas, correct?
Yeah.
Which we use, and using that formula and principles comes technology. So when the science, the research in science, the development of science, ultimately is translated as technology. Like we are now able to, this audio-visual communication. It started off as the hypothesis, then it was experimented, then people arrived, okay, this is how sound waves and light waves work. This is how communication can work. And they put all this together and made devices, which is technology. Correct? So far, so good?
Yeah.
So science is the pure subject, which leads to tech. So input is science, output is tech. Right? Nishant? Any arguments in that?
No.
Now let's look at religion. What is religion? Same thing. Religion starts off with belief. Science starts off with hypothesis. Religion also starts off with belief. So this religion says, I believe in this God. The other religion says, I believe in that God. But both are in belief. Correct? The theist is also a believer. The atheist is also a believer. He is also part of a religion, which is atheism. He also believes that there is no God. He or she is not free from belief. On the understanding? Yeah, Nishant, any doubt? So religion also starts off with what? Story. Assumption. And all the fight is about my assumption is correct compared to your assumption. One second, I just lost. We were clear?
Yeah.
That's why religions are constantly fighting, because it's about assumption. How can you prove that your assumption is wrong, my assumption is correct? Okay, so religion has beliefs, and set of practices. Okay, do this, commandments. Do this, don't do that, worship this way. Okay, then religion has, what is the end goal of religion? What is the end goal of religion?
These days, it seems to be conversion.
The end goal of religion is afterlife. They're all interested in the afterlife. Nobody's bothered about current life. स्वर्ग में क्या मिलेगा? यहाँ पे नहीं. Okay.
Doesn't religion kind of guide you how to live your life rather than afterlife?
I'll come to that. That is a part of spirituality. So what happens is,
I thought religion was supposed to be doing that, showing us the way of life.
Exactly. So that is if religion is in tune with spirituality. But I'm generalizing first, then I'm going to more specific. In a general context, religion is about belief.
That I agree.
No, I'll just continue. Okay. I'll come to spirituality, then you will see the overlap.
Okay.
There is an overlap, but in the common understanding, it's not there. Generally, religion has become our belief. My God is superior to your God. My path is superior to your path. If you have to improve in life, you have to come to my path. And what is supposed to be for peace has become war. Okay, and a set of practices, and it's mostly interested in the afterlife. Its focus on the current life is, if you do good here, you will get something better later. That is the only importance of the present life, so that you get something better in the afterlife. So the religion has, here you have formula. Here you have what do you have here? Forms. The scientist gave the formula. Okay, the application of science became technology through formulas. The application of spirituality became religion. Okay, so spirituality is equal to science, tech is equal to religion. Vivek, understanding?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so spirituality and religion are far from each other. Yeah. Religion is about one particular way of teaching, one path. In spirituality, there is no belief. There is no room for belief, hypothesis in spirituality. Spirituality is about finding the truth. Okay, there is no belief and no beginning with hypothesis. See, science is starting telling that, okay, I'm going to find the truth in the objective world. But who is to tell the objective world itself is true? So spirituality starts with questioning, just like science, but science starts with the questioning, assuming something is true. In spirituality, everything is false until I come to an answer, until I come to a conclusion, my own realization, not borrowed realization. I will not follow anybody. I will not take somebody else's word. I have to get aparoksha anubhuti, called aparoksha gnana, my own experience. Until I reach to that point, I'll consider everything as false. That's why the path of spirituality is called neti neti. Means not this, not this. What is it? Neti neti. No, this is not it. This is not it. This is not it. Until I come to a stage where I cannot say this is not it. Okay? So now what happens is somebody reaches that stage, like a Buddha. Buddha reaches a state of nirvana, and he has realized. Now he starts communicating his teaching to other people who have not realized. Okay? As long as he is there, it is a direct path because it's a living person, a reference. But the moment Buddha disappears, he dies, it becomes religion. It becomes what Buddha said, what Buddha asked us to do. You understand? Clear? So religion is a product of spirituality. So somebody realizes a spiritual truth, he or she communicates to the world. As long as that person is living, that communication is in its purest form. There's no corruption from the human mind. But the moment the person disappears, human mind starts interpreting in its own way. Then it becomes something else. And that something else is what we mostly know as various religions. Clear?
Yep.
So, and religion is always about, as I told you, the focus is not moksha, the focus is swarga, heaven. In spirituality, the focus is my liberation. I want to become free from everything, even heaven, go beyond heaven and hell. I want to establish in the truth, complete, absolute freedom. That is spirituality. Spirit is the only reality. That is spirituality. Okay, where spirit is the only reality. Not so people are very clear. Most of the time, for most of the people, spirit is the only reality. Only when the spirit goes inside, life is a little better. So spirit, the Brahman, is the only reality. Okay. Now, in this context of science, religion, spirituality, there is something called as. Let me clear the screen. Shall I clear the screen? Is it okay?
Yes.
There is. Sorry. Also called as. Okay. So what we popularly know as Hinduism is not an ism. It's called as Sanatana Dharma. There was no religion called as Hinduism earlier. It is called as Sanatana Dharma, a universal principles of how the universe operates. It has nothing to do with. That's why you see the difference in Sanatana Dharma and any other religion. In other religion, there is one God and one book and one way. In Sanatana Dharma, millions of gods. Everybody is a god. You are also God. I am also God. Everybody is God. And books. Oh my God! Every enlightened person writes their own book. And path. Everybody has his own path. Every path is the path. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
That's because it is completely in tune with the true spiritual search. In Sanatana Dharma, God is consciousness, which is your own consciousness. There is no room for belief. Believe this. And the teaching of Sanatana Dharma is, in religion, the teaching is, you are a sinner. You are an individual. You can never become God. In religion, there is no room that a devotee can ever become, a bhakta can ever become Bhagwan. Impossible. Okay, please don't go and tell that in any religion, religion forum. Okay, just go and try. If you tell in any religious forum, I am God, you will directly reach God. Okay, they will, okay, you're God, I'll send you to God very soon. Oh, Savita has joined. Hi, Savita. Savita, can you hear us? Is she there? Oh, yeah, she's there. You're on mute, Savita. Okay, not able to hear. So clear? So in religion, there's no room that you can become God. But in Sanatana Dharma, the teaching is Amritasya Putraha. You are the divine child and you are divinity. Okay, the journey doesn't begin with belief. It begins with inquiry. Who am I? Okay. And the path is the path of the enlightened. Somebody who has realized, you take their support so that you can also realize. So in no other space, religious space, this is allowed. There can only be God. There cannot be another second version of Him. Clear? There can only be one. Everybody is below that one. But in Sanatana Dharma, there is no hierarchy. It is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. You are also consciousness. The Buddha is also consciousness. So when Buddha realized, when Siddhartha became enlightened, he was asked, what happened to you after enlightenment? He said, when I got enlightened, I realized that the whole world is enlightened. There are no unenlightened people. Then the person said, okay, then what are all these people? Why are you teaching then? Why are you doing all this? He said, everybody is enlightened. Everybody is a Buddha, but they're a sleeping Buddha. I am awakened and I'm just trying to wake them up. But they're also Buddha. I cannot create a Buddha. If they are a Buddha, I can make them, I can awaken them. So my job is only to awaken them. Clear? This is the path of spirituality, and this is the difference between Sanatana Dharma and all of the systems. But Sanatana Dharma, politically it's made as Hinduism, but it's not an ism, it's not a religion. It is, you can say it's synonymous to spirituality. Any doubts in this statement that I made?
No, I don't have doubt, but what you said is very right, because a few years ago, my manager asked me once that his son has to do a paper on Hinduism. And
Okay.
he asked me, can you share from where he can find the information? And I was questioning myself that I myself don't know what is Hinduism. I thought it was just a way of life. There is nothing else in Hinduism. And tried to find out, and there was no single source where I could point someone to understand what is Hinduism. And that's when I started kind of questioning what is Hinduism actually, that we write as a religion, Hindu as a religion I write everywhere, but I just don't know what is that. And but I do understand this fact that unlike other religions, we don't have a single god, we don't have a single book that I go by and I'm supposed to go by if I'm a Hindu. There's nothing like that. I choose my own path, I choose my own beliefs. And I think that's what Hinduism is. It gives you that flexibility to have your own belief about whatever you think.
So Sanatana Dharma it's not Sanatana Dharma and other religion. Everything comes under the umbrella of Sanatana Dharma. So everything has taken one spiritual aspect from Sanatana Dharma and made it into a religion. For example, if there's a religion that only looks at the formless, it is one aspect of spiritual teaching. Ultimately, consciousness is beyond all forms. So all the religions that we know are just taking one aspect of Sanatana Dharma and blowing it up. But what happens in the blowing up part is the human mind intervenes. That's why Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, he used to say that how it's like when we eat food, we would like to eat food which is not somebody else has not touched it or tasted it. They have not put it into their mouth and we eat it. So it is when we eat it directly, it's pure. But putting it into somebody else's mouth and eating it is the equivalent of the mind corrupting the spiritual teaching. So if you see in most of the commonly known religious practices or religious understanding, it is very human oriented. It is very applicable to, probably it's in favor of a certain gender. It is in favor of a certain people in certain places. It's always tilted in one side. It's either this side or that side. Sanatana Dharma spirituality is no tilting. It is universal, and it is beyond time. It was applicable 10,000 years ago. It's applicable today. It will be applicable 10,000 years from now also. So spirituality is evergreen. Okay, it's not doesn't tilt towards a gender or a being or a certain type and class of people or certain geography of people. This is Sanatana Dharma, and if you are exposed to Sanatana Dharma, if you are in the tradition or rather in the ecosystem of Sanatana Dharma, the possibility of enlightenment is more. That's why India is called Punya Bhumi. Have you heard of this word called Punya Bhumi?
Yeah.
Called Moksha Bhumi. Nowhere in the world, any other place has produced so many enlightened people like India. Okay, every now and then, some master will come and they will teach. It's churning. It's like an enlightenment person churning out machine. He's on churning out. Just when we thought somebody is gone, again something will come. Right? Just when you thought this is over, again something will start. That flow of the enlightenment is continuous. That's because of the Sanatana Dharma. The thought process subtly of the people here is more in tune with the natural order. And you can see that in your own daily lives. If you have traveled the world, it becomes very, very obvious. So Sureka has traveled outside of India to Paris. Is it obvious, Sureka?
That India is the Moksha Bhumi.
That India is more inclusive. It's more open to this kind of spiritual teaching. And this kind of spiritual understanding is very natural and common.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm trying to compare actually and see, try to find the differences. I think so. I think we are definitely more exposed to these kinds of teachings and from somewhere or the other, right? I mean, it could start within the family or outside, or I mean, there's so many texts, there's so many gurus and all of that. So definitely, there's more of an exposure for people to these kind of concepts and thoughts and ideas and things like that.
Right.
Over there though, I don't know, not as much as here, unless someone personally decides to go looking for it, then I guess,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But here, I think whether or not we go looking for it at some point or the other, we'll cross paths or we're exposed to it. Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying all this to take sides or glorify a certain place. It is just to state the fact that it's like nowhere else in the world the amount of work that has gone into enlightenment. So enlightenment requires a lot of. It's like science. Science that we know today is after the work of so many millions of scientists who have dedicated their lives, who have worked so hard, who have sacrificed so much and passed on the teaching and their experiments and everything. In the same way, people have dedicated their lives to enlightenment. They have worked on themselves, they've done meditation, they've seen the limitations of everything. They've seen what does not work. And once they've realized it, they've tried to teach that same thing. So when Buddha realized, became enlightened, he shortened the learning curve of all his disciples. So the first teaching that Gautama Buddha gave was to 4 people. His first disciples, 4 people. The moment he got enlightened, and they were the same people that were practicing with him. They were doing Hatha Yoga. They were all ascetics. And they see Buddha and he is taking food and he's realized. And they come to him and they ask him, now it seems like you have realized, please teach us. And he gives the first sermon, his first teaching. And that moment, in that session, all of the others have enlightened. The first class Buddha took after enlightenment, 100% success result. Everybody became enlightened that day because he's so fresh out of enlightenment, and the teaching is direct. And also because those other people also had strived for it, Buddha was able to cut short the learning curve, cut their journey entirely because he has reached. It's like a guide who can save you a lot of time in a place that you're new to. Clear? This is the difference, and this is the definition of what spirituality is. It is very, very different and far from religion.
Murli, I have a small doubt. Savita here. I'm not on video. Hi. I just want to know if it is necessary for a guru or a guide or a leader. I have been hearing this a lot of late. Somebody has discovered a guru. Somebody has, is being led and all that. So, is it necessary for a guru to be there? Is it necessary for a guide to perennially be there?
Okay, so the question is, do I need a guru? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, but before I answer, can I just ask you at what point did you join the video? I just want to know if you have, if you got the continuity of the...
No, I think I joined when you were talking you were asking, no, you were saying something about...
Did you get the science and religion part?
No.
Okay, you were not there at that time. All right. So I was explaining about science, religion, and spirituality, how they are different, and how Sanatana Dharma is a spiritual system.
Yes, that part I was there. That part I was there. Yes, yeah.
Okay, so the teaching of Sanatana Dharma in the same context, I'll tell you about guru. The question is very common. If I have to become enlightened, do I need a guru? Correct?
Yeah.
See, for anything in life, you need a guru. And you need a living guru. There are 2 things. Do I need a guru is one question. Do I need a living guru? The second part of the question.
Okay.
Okay, so for the enlightened teaching, the tradition has always been from a realized person. The enlightenment happens because of a realized master. Moksha moolam, dhyana moolam guror murti, puja moolam guror padam, mantra moolam guror vakyam, moksha moolam guru kripa. Secret of moksha is the teaching of the enlightened one. So it's like this. Let's say you have some disease. Okay, let's say you're down with cold and fever now today. In this today you come down with cold, fever, and cough. What will you do?
I will go to a doctor. Or
okay, so there are different things we can do. One is, if you're very brave or very foolish, you can self-medicate.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay, that is one part.
Yes.
Either then you can you will say, no, that's too risky. I will go and ask the medical store guy. So you have seen in medical store, people go and tell, I have this symptom, give me the medicine. They directly go to the medical store and take the medicine from the medical store guy, right?
Yeah.
Then there's a better way where you go to a doctor, and you need to go to a good doctor. Okay. Otherwise, you will have stomach problem. They'll give you a headache medicine.
Right.
Somebody who can diagnose your problem properly, or you will have cancer and they'll only do symptomatic treatment.
True.
So you need a person who can diagnose the problem and solve the problem. Same thing in spirituality. So we have a problem, which is avidya, which is we think we are the body, mind, and intellect. We think the world is real, and we do not know about consciousness, or God. And we do not know what is enlightenment. First path is self-medication. I am going to read all the spiritual books. So people usually start with all the self-help books. How to win friends and how to make friends, impress people and make friends. How to get enlightened. So they will Google how to get enlightened. They will read books. They will watch videos. So this is the first way, self-medication. So what happens in self-medication? You know what happens in self-medication.
Yeah.
If the disease is cancer and you're self-medicating, what will happen? Same thing that will happen in people who are self-medicating spiritually. So self-medication doesn't work. Then they go to this thing. The second step I told you, they go to a pharmacist. There are spiritual pharmacists. Okay, who are these pharmacists? Who know a little bit. And they prescribe. So you go to some person, they prescribe, okay, do this practice, do this mantra japa, do this meditation. So they are called gurus or acharyas. That also doesn't work. Then finally, you go to a doctor. The doctor is called Sadguru, somebody who's realized. Okay? And he or she will operate, meaning will go to the root of your problem, which is your ego, the feeling of I, and make you inquire into that. Now, the process of spirituality is, it's always from a living master. So somebody went and asked Guruji, whatever you're saying, Guruji, is there in the books. Why do I need you? So the Guruji answers, please go and ask the book. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, one of the reasons I asked that question is that I most of the questions, answers I get either when I'm sitting or when.
No, I'm not able to hear that. Is the answer clear or not?
Yeah, it is. Why do I need a living guru?
Yeah, you got it. Why?
I understand you saying go ask the book. That I get mostly.
Yeah. See, enlightenment is about question and answer. It's a discussion. It's not a belief. I was just telling earlier, science and religion is based on belief. Spirituality is not based on belief. Here it is about questioning. The Buddha, the path of the enlightened one is ask the right questions. Who am I? Who is doing all this? Now, the mind will throw up usually answers. And especially in a very subject like enlightenment, people can reach multiple stages. There are multiple stages of realization. And they can start thinking that is it, that is final. Like for example, if somebody meditates for a long enough time, they attain some powers of the mind. The mind becomes very sharp and they're able to do so many things. And they'll start thinking that itself is realization. There needs to be somebody who can correct. It's like in music, no? Have you gone to any music class?
Yeah.
So in music, the teacher is teaching sa re ga ma, and the student is singing sa re ga ma. So there needs to be a correction. Otherwise, you will do whatever you do, and you'll think that is correct.
Okay, I get it now. Okay.
And
I get it. Yeah.
and also the real reason for a guru is, the secret is, see, the human enlightenment is about dropping the ego. Correct?
Yeah.
It is most painful for the ego to encounter an enlightened one. The ego will never accept how in my own reality somebody has become enlightened and I have not. That's why people are very comfortable with a dead guru. Okay, this person, this ancient master is my master, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is my master, Ramana Maharshi is my master, because they'll never come and question you. There's no questioning happening. And there's no encountering of the ego and non-ego. Meeting a guru means ego meeting no ego. The ego has to first see the possibility of enlightenment in the other. Only then it becomes reality for itself. Like, forget enlightenment. Only when you see your close people, let's say you're in poverty, and somebody who was also in poverty transcended that and became abundant, then you will also start feeling, oh, I can also become that. Otherwise, it will still always stay as a dream. Savita ji, clear?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So now you tell me the answer. Is a guru required?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I require a guru so I know the path I'm taking is right, and to understand if I have understood it right.
How will you know you have the right guru?
That is what I wanted to ask next. That is my next question. How do I know that I have found my guru?
How will you know you found the right doctor? Because most of the doctors are under the pressures of MBA people.
Yeah.
So if you go into any hospital, they are very eager to do some operation on you. Okay, so most of them are motivated by something else. So how do you know your doctor is the right doctor?
And it works for me. When he works for me.
When what is the meaning of when he works? So he's okay with you doing whatever you want? Is that the?
No, I'm not okay. So probably when I know that his restrictions and suggestions are what my body can take, or what I can understand.
Okay, correct, very true. So shall I take up this topic now? How do you say you that this is my enlightened master? Shall I take up this topic, or any other questions? Anybody? Vivek, is it clear so far?
Yeah, it is clear.
Because we're shifting from science, religion, and spirituality to spiritual teacher.
Yeah.
So, like any, where is Nishant? Nishant, are you there? Nishant?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, is it clear so far?
Yes, sir.
So we have spoken about science, religion, now and spirituality, and we have understood spirituality is inquiring into the truth, and spirituality is personal. Unlike science and religion are community-based, people, multiple people. There's no religion for individuals. In religion, it's always together we will do something. Okay? Spirituality is completely opposite. It's an individual journey. You cannot go with even the closest of the closest person. You cannot take your friend along. You cannot take your wife along. You cannot take your spouse along. You cannot take your child along. You have to go alone. Okay, and that is why the more spiritual you become, the more you get cut off from other people. Okay, because your wavelengths won't match. You are talking the language of consciousness, they are talking the language of object. Slowly you start distancing. And that is why Buddha made a Sangha. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. What happened is he started seeing that all my students are becoming enlightened. They cannot go back to society. And they have to live. So might as well create our own Sangha. Okay, clear? So now I'll answer the question about how do I know that this is my master, enlightened master, who will guide me to liberation. Is the question clear? Shall we go ahead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So how will I recognize my master? First thing you need to understand about enlightenment is it doesn't change anything on the outside. Just because somebody got enlightened doesn't give them the ability, it doesn't change any hormones. Suddenly, if this person got enlightened, tomorrow the testosterone level in his body will rise and he'll grow beard. That won't happen. Okay? And enlightenment has nothing to do with beard, which is commonly, which is a common thought pattern. Guru means they should have beard. Okay? Guru means they should have some marking. Guru means they should be wearing some dress. Guru means there should be some light coming from behind. Guru means if they touch me, I should become enlightened. Nothing of that sort. That's why Guru, the story of the enlightened master, is transmitted in the story of Prahalada. Have you heard the story of Prahalada, Savita? What is the story of Prahalada?
You tell me, I'm not good at stories.
So Prahalada is the child of a demon king called Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu says, I am God, everybody has to worship me. And Prahalada says, no, Narayana is God, you are not. So I'll chant the name of Narayana. And finally, Hiranyakashipu tries to kill him in many ways. He's not able to succeed. And finally, this guy, he breaks a pillar and Narasimha comes out and kills him. And Hiranyakashipu has a boon. I cannot be killed inside or outside. I cannot be killed by a human nor an animal. I cannot be killed during the day or night. And I cannot be killed with any weapons. Clear? This is the story. And he is killed with Narasimha with his nails. This story is from the Puranas. All the stories from the Puranas are spiritual secrets. They're capsules which are carrying spiritual secrets and which has to be deciphered. The Prahalada is the heart that seeks enlightenment. His only focus is Narayana. He wants to reach pure consciousness. He wants to become enlightened. The Hiranyakashipu, Hiranya means gold. Kashipu means pillow. So one who is constantly thinking about wealth and power. Who is Hiranyakashipu? All of us who are constantly thinking about ourselves and constantly thinking about our desires is Hiranyakashipu. It's the ego. The ego is focused on itself. Okay? And then it encounters Narasimha. Narasimha is very odd. He is neither man nor animal. So the description of the Sadguru is Narasimha. Sadguru, realized master is Narasimha. Now Sadguru doesn't mean title. Okay, when I say Sadguru, don't think of a particular Sadguru. Sadguru means one who is realized, a master who is realized and he is able to teach it. Not all enlightened people can teach. Please understand this. Just because the person gets enlightened, he will not be able to teach. Not all the enlightened people can teach. Only a few have the ability to communicate enlightenment, because the master is trying to speak about something that cannot be spoken about. The master is trying to speak about consciousness, which is impossible to bring to words, but he or she is attempting it. Okay, the better they attempt, the better the master. So Buddha is considered the best master because he was very, very close. He figured out the science of teaching. He was very close to it, and that's why he had thousands of enlightened disciples. So not every enlightened person is a master. Okay, but every Sadguru is an enlightened person. That's why they're called Sadguru, a realized master. In the scriptures, it said the Sadguru should be Shrotriya and Brahmanishta, meaning he should be established in Brahman and he should be Shrotriya. He should be able to teach the science of enlightenment. If he is not able to teach, he is not a guru. They can be a saint. So there are saints. In India, we have a lot of saints who are enlightened. So usually saints are associated with miracles. A lot of miracles happen near them. They go, somebody doesn't have a child, they get a child. Somebody is poor, they become rich. So all these miracles are done by these saints. But a Sadguru is somebody who does the greatest miracle. What is the greatest miracle? The
To enlighten others.
The disappearance of the ego. He destroys the ego. He makes you enlightened. That is the greatest miracle. Okay? So I was talking about Narasimha. It's a description of the Guru. He is neither man nor animal, meaning he doesn't fit into any of your concepts. So we have concept. Guru means he should be like this. Your Sadguru, whoever is your enlightened master, will not fit into any norms that you might have, any understanding of Guru that you might have. First thing. Is the first point clear? Neither man, neither animal, meaning he doesn't fit into your concepts. So when Vivekananda met Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was known as a mad guy. Everybody thought he was mad. Okay? Vivekananda goes to him and he sees an ordinary person, like a skinny, ordinary person. There's nothing extraordinary about him. He's very ordinary. But he immediately brings in the first meeting the experience of God to Vivekananda. Okay, so in this case, Ramakrishna is Narasimha. He doesn't fit into any of the understanding that Vivekananda had. Vivekananda had a concept, the Guru means he should sit in such a posture, he should be gentle, he should be loving. Ramakrishna used to throw stuff at his students. He used to scold his students. Okay, he was illiterate. He could not quote shlokas. He spoke in a very simple language with stories. Are you getting the point? Buddha was a prince. In Buddha's time, Buddha was not considered enlightened by many people because he's not a Brahmana. He's not from a Brahmin family. He's a Kshatriya. So he doesn't fit into the normal understanding. So the enlightened master will not be or is not the way you think or society defines them to be like. They will not look in a certain way. They will be very ordinary and simple. Okay. Then Narasimha kills with his nails. Okay. The Guru uses weapons called prakriyas. The two weapons of the Guru. So Ramana Maharshi was asked, how do I tell this is my enlightened master? He said by two, you can tell. One is just in their presence, just in the presence of the master, just the physical presence, your mind becomes silent. They need not say anything. A, just in their presence, your mind becomes silent. B, they are able to clarify all your spiritual doubts with clarity and give you the experience of Brahman. Okay? The weapons of the Guru is Shanti and Gnana. Is it clear? So how do I know if this is my enlightened master? If I am able to become peaceful in their presence, and if they are able to give me the clarity, answer my questions with clarity, and also give me the experience and realization of the same that they have. When all these are satisfied, you will know that you are with your enlightened master. And the enlightened master is usually not addressing a very big gathering, because the teaching of enlightenment is a private teaching. Clear so far? Okay. Now you can ask me questions if you have. Savita, clear? Did you hear whatever I said?
Yeah, I did. I did. I'm always at this quandrum that when you say it's personal, it's very, very private, it's very personal. Spirituality is basically personal. That's something I also feel and understand. But invariably, when you say this point that you pulled out now, that you need to feel at peace with your guru, with they should be able to answer the questions with clarity.
Yeah.
Is that an instantaneous thing? Does it happen in a swift, or is it over a period of time that you wait to understand that is your person, that is your calling? Because I've been searching since forever, and I don't know. I haven't been led enough. Right? Maybe I'm not sensitive enough to still get it. So I want to understand what is this. When do you understand? When is your realization?
When is your realization about the self or the master?
Master.
Sorry?
Master.
Master. So, see, it depends on what you're truly seeking. See, most people who go to gurus and satsangs don't think they're seeking enlightenment. They just want, it's like an extended party, extended sense of community, right? They are happy doing bhajans and they're happy doing puja, and because there's some central figure that they can all bow down to, they're happy. But in the case of enlightenment, to answer the question of is it instant, it is instant. Because the journey is a journey of pain, journey is a journey of suffering. When you encounter somebody who has gnana, the peace is, the first criteria is immediately met. In their presence, you will, if they are a realized master and if they are your realized master, you will feel the peace. B, you will instantaneously, your doubts will be clarified, provided you ask it. It's instantaneous. And it's not that you can search a master and find. Anybody who has gone in search of a master, 99% of the time have failed. They will end up with some wrong game. It is said that when you are ready, the master appears. So there's no way you can find the master. The master has to find you. Sorry? Is it clear? Hello?
I lost you there. There's a break in. Hello?
Yeah, so to answer the question, simply it is instantaneous and you cannot find the master will find you. And when the meeting happens, you will know. Any doubts? Anybody? Vivek?
No, no doubt.
Savita, are you able to hear?
Just go on.
Savita is not there yet. Nishant, clear?
Yes.
So that is about the enlightened master. Mamtaji?
Yeah, so I think what you're saying is that when you start seeking or start inquiring, that's when you will meet your master. That's what you're saying.
Not necessarily.
But otherwise, what do you mean by when you are ready, you will find the master?
When you are ready, in the sense when you have reached a state where the universe feels that okay, it's time for this person. When you are ready, when you're ready to absorb the teaching. Otherwise, if somebody meets the master premature, it's very hard to let go of the feeling of I am body.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer the question with the Bhagavad Gita, the Sri Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatan api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. And bahunam janmanamante gnanavan mam prapadyate. The individual is on a journey of bahunam, lot of lives, cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked, until they have reached a state of ripening. In that ripe state, when they meet the master, the enlightenment blooms. So don't look, we cannot say anything based on external circumstances, like about, look, this person has suffered a lot and he's seeking freedoms from suffering. Can he get a master? Like for Buddha didn't suffer. He was in a royal family. He was in a royal place, and he just dropped it and went into seeking of enlightenment. So it has nothing to do with external situation. It is, you have reached that point in your individual journey. For example, when I met my Sadguru, I had no idea. I was not even seeking. I didn't even know enlightenment. Of course, I had heard a story of Buddha, but I never thought it was for me or I should take a spiritual path. Spirituality is like after 60, right? I never sought a guru. I didn't even know what is a guru. I was very far from the journey of spirituality, but the shift was overnight.
Mm-hmm.
I met, and it was a flip. It's like flipping the hourglass, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The hourglass, all the sand has gone to this side, you flip it. That's it. And overnight, the knowledge became as if it was always there.
Okay.
So we cannot say based on external circumstances. When you are ready, that's the grace. It will come to you when you're able to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Savita, we lost you for some time. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is it clear?
Yeah, it is.
And the difference there's a huge difference between a guru and a Sadguru. A guru is somebody who teaches. Okay, you could teach scriptures also. Okay, but a Sadguru is a enlightened master. So there are a lot of people teaching, giving pravachans. Okay, the teaching of the enlightenment is different. It's not a pravachan. The teaching of enlightenment is not pravachan. It is the process of, it is Upanishad. It is teaching so that the ego is killed. Pravachan is ego is diverted to do something else. Still alive. Okay? You understand? The ego is just distracted. It's given a task. Okay, do japa, do meditation, do this, do yoga, do this sadhana, do service. With Sadguru, nothing is encouraged. Death of the ego. To be with the Sadguru is the most uncomfortable thing. Because at every moment, you're pricked. Okay, in other places, your ego is boosted. Okay, wow, this person has done so much meditation, has done so much service. Sadguru will ask who is doing it. If you go to Ramana Maharshi, he'll ask who is doing service. Who did all the service? Who did all the japa? Who has the powers? Who has have learned so many scriptures? Who has learned all the scriptures? It's called dead end. Sadguru. So we have a journey, the journey of the jiva. It started millions of years ago. We don't know when it started, your journey. But to meet the Sadguru is the end of the journey. Sadguru is the last station before formless reality. Before formless consciousness becomes your reality, within form, Sadguru's form is the last form. After that, death of the ego. Clear? Sureka?
Yeah, but I'm just wondering why we are built in this way, where we have to go through the entire process of killing the ego. Or, you know, and why
do we fight it, I guess? That's the question.
Sorry, what?
I guess he's asking, why do we fight it?
No, I'm not able to hear Sureka's question. Sureka, what did you say?
Can you hear me? No, I said why we built this way, where we have to go through the journey of, killing the ego and realizing the truth. I mean, why?
Your audio is not good. Okay, so there's a chat option. Can you just type the question or the statement? Do you see the chat option there?
Yeah.
Beside share screen, you can just type it there. Meanwhile, Nishant sir, clear?
So I guess, as you said, I'm waiting for the death of ego. I don't know when.
Who is waiting? Ego is only waiting for the death of ego.
Yes, I guess so.
Who is waiting? Who wants enlightenment?
I think I want.
Who is the right?
Yeah.
Who is the right?
The Atman or the Brahman wants the.
Brahman is already free, no? Why would Brahman want enlightenment? Brahman is beyond enlightenment. Who wants enlightenment? So we have. So how many of you want enlightenment?
All of us do, I guess. Not enlightenment, some clarity in life.
Who wants enlightenment? Savita, you want enlightenment? Only speak for yourself. For all you know, Sureka doesn't want enlightenment. She's happy with the world and the ego. Because enlightenment means we don't know what will happen, no? So, Savita, do you want enlightenment?
Yeah, I do.
Who is that I who says I do?
In the temporary state of mind that I feel, that presence that physical, that being, that the physicality of the situation is what wants something that is.
The enlightenment of the physical is very simple. You pick your finger, put it in the socket. The physical will get instant enlightenment. That is why the physical enlightenment is very simple. The physical enlightenment is not for the physical.
No, so the enlightenment, I feel, is for the want is always a very personal or a physical want. It's a very, I won't say I, because it doesn't exist. Ego, we are taught to let go.
So if I doesn't exist, who wants enlightenment then? You said you want enlightenment?
Maybe the mind.
Mind can never get enlightened. That is the misfortune of the mind. Mind can never get enlightened because enlightened means no mind.
So,
So if you think that mind will get enlightened one day, no. Mind can never be enlightened. Mind is like a instrument. It's like a glasses that with which you see through. How can your spectacles get enlightened? It is insentient. Mind is insentient.
So who is it that seeks enlightenment? And
you tell me. I'm not seeking enlightenment. You tell me.
I somewhere I know that deep within I seek.
Who is it I?
So I have no answer. Who is it that seeks liberation or enlightenment? So somewhere I know that I want to break away from this cycle of.
Who knows? I'm asking who knows? Who is the I?
It's somewhere coming from within, but I don't know who is it that is seeking it.
Somebody is seeking.
Yeah.
You don't know who is seeking.
Yeah.
The secret of enlightenment is, who is seeking is, God is seeking enlightenment. God is fed up with the ego. Okay? God wants to be free from the ego. Chhod do yaar mujhe. Ego is kabzafied God completely and is making God do, move the body and the mind, and is claiming everything.
But why is it so difficult, Murli, to let go of the ego?
Why is it so difficult?
Because you don't have 100% attendance track record.
Vivek has found it now.
That's your secret.
See, this is the importance of the Sadguru. With the Sadguru, the enlightenment becomes a very simple and natural, complex-less process. Okay, the concept of difficulty comes from the society. Society has made enlightenment very, very difficult, which is not true.
We're not seeking enlightenment from the society. We're seeking it either within ourselves or from our gurus.
No, but all your education about enlightenment is from society only, no? All your concepts about yourself is from society. All your interaction with the society goes on. The society interacts with you continuously as body and mind and identity. Only the Guru interacts with you as consciousness. Do you get it? That is the importance. It becomes very simple with the person who is in that reality and speaks that language. That's why people started saying initially, as long as you're listening to the teaching, it's fine, and then you go out of it, go back to the same game. That same game is because the world is talking to you as Savita, the body, a woman. They're addressing you as woman, a mother, whatever, Indian and this religion, and they only see the skin. Only the Guru interacts with the spirit. He or she talks to you and again brings the understanding you're not the body, mind, your consciousness. There it becomes simple. So it's not difficult when you're in satsang. When satsang means where the truth is contemplated. It is very difficult in society, in samsara. So Sureka says, I'm wondering why we are made this way, where we have to go through the journey of killing the ego and seeking the truth. That's the question. Why we have to, huh?
I think you partly answered that question when you said the society has made it difficult to remain in a natural state.
So did you get the answer? Are you saying you got the answer?
I think so, partly, but please address it again.
Yeah, why we are made this way, I am wondering, I wonder who's the I, who's wondering. Why we are made this way, we is very difficult to understand. I don't know what you mean by we. This way is also question mark, because you're assuming this is how it is, where we have to go through the journey of killing the ego. See, we have names. Now, what is your name? The person who asked this question, what is your name?
Rekha.
Surekha is a noun. When I say this is this, I'm freezing it to something. But you are not a noun, you are a verb. You're constantly changing. You're Sureka Ing. You're not Sureka, you're not Vivek. You're Viveking. You're not Savita, you're Savita Ing. Because you're constantly changing. You're not a frozen entity, you're fluid. When I say you, the body, the mind, everything is constantly changing. The body changes 24 hours, so many cells die and so many millions of cells are born. The mind changes every second, right? So in this completely flowing and turning being, you're making all these statements. It's like you're in the, what is that thing called? Merry-go-round. No, not merry-go-round. Giant wheel.
Giant wheel.
You're constantly moving in the giant wheel and you're making statements about the world. It's like you're drunk. So there were two drunks. They are completely drunk and they want to go back home. And the first drunk says, oh my God, look at that. All the buildings are moving. Okay, I can see the buildings are moving. They're shaking. And the second drunkard says, forget all that. The road itself is moving. Okay, the earth underneath me is moving. So in a state of intoxication, you make all these claims about yourself, about the world, about journeys, all mental concepts. How much of this is true?
I guess you can pick at each aspect and disprove it. But we are all here, aren't we? We're all here with you in this session, trying to understand the truth or speak the truth, or however you want to word it, right?
You said we. You said we? Who is we?
I mean, right now there's Vivek, there's there's Dina, there's Mamta, there's others.
Where? There's Vivek? Where's Vivek? I can't see Vivek. That picture that I see is Vivek?
Okay.
So it's like telling, so it's like what you're trying to say is, what I have in my hand is space. And this is all spaces. Is it true?
What I have in my hand is
Space.
space.
And this is all spaces. Is it true?
No.
Okay, you hold your hand like this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Show me both your hands and hold like this.
I'm holding the phone with one hand.
Oh, okay. So somebody else volunteer. Beena, okay, you hold. There's space in the hand. Okay, what is there in your hand? Space. What is there in my hand? Space. So there are two spaces.
No, it's just space.
So it's space, yeah.
It's just space.
So is that all spaces, or space is more than that also?
Space is more than that also.
It is this, and it is more. And how many spaces are there?
Infinite, I don't know.
There's no number.
Infinite spaces there. Spaces. Space is
It's
only
just
one.
space.
It's just space, only one. Just because, and consciousness is in which space exists?
It exists in that one space.
Consciousness is, space is in consciousness. Okay, consciousness is through space and beyond space, both. So when you say we, body is not we. Is body we? When you're saying we, are you referring to the body?
Because I'm referring
If
to
you
our
are referring to the body, if you say, okay, I see Vivek's body there, that is Vivek. The moment, from the time you said it till now, Vivek's body has changed. It's Vivek part 2, version 2. Every second is Viveking. So you can never speak about the object because it's constantly changing. And what is unchanging is consciousness, which is only one. So tell your sentence again.
There is no sentence anymore to tell.
What can you speak? Tell me. Can you speak any sense? Can you speak any sensible statement?
I mean, not when you pick at it like that, obviously not. I mean,
What, Sureka? You teach mindfulness. You can't make a meaningful sentence also.
Okay, can I rearrange the sentence? And I had the same question. So
please do it.
So I think
I want some more fun.
So why are our bodies and minds programmed in such a way that we constantly have to go through this? Okay, I'll cancel the word we.
Wait. Our bodies.
Okay, why? Yeah. So why are the body and mind programmed in such a way that it constantly goes through the struggle of fighting with the ego and eventually tries to get liberated from the very same ego which we are born with? Okay, not we.
No, question not clear. See, body and mind is free. The body is free from the ego. No, it's following its natural order. Body is not bound. The liberation is not for body. And I told you, liberation for the body is very simple. Instant liberation. Even you will see lights. You'll reach a high state of consciousness. For body realization, very simple. Mind can never get liberated. So again, form the sentence correctly, no? Oh, whatever question you have.
But still there is so much pain and suffering in this world. So why why does a human...
Wait. So there is so much pain and suffering in this world. Is this a true statement?
Yes, as of now, what we see in the current world with the whole
What we
situation
see.
of...
How can you tell we all see the same pain and suffering? For all you know, somebody is enjoying with their vacation. They are like, this is the best time of my life. How can you
But
generalize
there
like that?
are people who are struggling for basic necessities in this lockdown period. So
How many have you seen with your eyes?
what we hear in the news and
How many have you seen with your own eyes?
not...
How many have you seen with your own eyes?
I haven't seen.
So, whatever you're saying, it's based on various assumptions.
Right.
So many assumptions. First of all, to assume that there are so many people. Second, that they're experiencing something. Okay. Third, I know about their experience. Fourth, I am deriving my own experience out of this. Multiple levels of dreams. Do you understand what you're saying? And none of it is verified. Vivek, is it clear? No. And the best time for realization is this isolation. Because you're cut off from the world, you only get some information, some random stories and data, and you have to use that and build a story. Your mind is a storyteller. It takes data and it stitches up. So, again, make the statement.
I think I give up.
No, try, no.
I think this is the most difficult thing to understand.
Yeah.
Which part?
This I part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, tell
in
me.
experience, the experience is only I, individual. I feel individualistic. I don't feel a part of a collective. I don't feel a part of consciousness. What I feel is this body. And it's such a strong emotion.
Not true. In your own experience, it's not true. So you have some thought about the I, and you are being partial to a certain pattern of thought. You said, I am this body and I have a feeling of this body. The I is associated with the body.
And ego and mind.
Ego and mind.
Yeah.
But in your own experience, when you are happy, okay, when you are relaxed, you feel expanded. When you are in deep sleep, you know yourself without body and mind and the world, which is also there in your memory. But you don't give credit to that and put spotlight on only one thought pattern. Did you get it, Vivek?
Yeah, but that's what I experienced most number of hours in 24 hours.
That's what I experience most number of hours, 24 hours, is a thought. It's a belief system. It's not true. See, for example, you get a thought. I have to do coding. Okay. What did you do yesterday?
I was coding.
You were coding, correct?
Yes.
So the principle is action and doer cannot coexist. When you're actually doing something, you don't have a sense of doer. There's no ego. Because you're lost in your body mind is engaged.
Yeah.
The doership comes later. I did this. So you made a statement that I feel I am the body, mind, ego the longest time in 24 hours, which is false because yesterday, let's say, how many hours did you code?
Throughout the day, 10, 12 hours.
10, 12 hours. Let's say 8 hours pure coding you did, you did, and you did some other action.
Yes.
Like eating, cooking, and all that. Or you did other actions. Whenever there's action, there is no doership. The ego doesn't come up because it cannot coexist. Okay, because action is a happening, and the happening will happen without your interference, conscious interference. Okay, so your statement that this is the longest is just a thought pattern. You say it afterwards. You believe yesterday the whole day you had a sense of I am the body, which is not true.
Yeah, but that small gap reinforces that entire thing. So if I'm coding for 4 hours and then I take a break for 5 minutes to make tea, in that 5 minutes it just gives that label that I coded for 4 hours, and that becomes very strong.
No, that's fine. Becoming strong is fine. But do you understand the falseness of the statement that you made?
No.
You didn't get it? So
now I understand.
You understand it.
Yeah, so now I understand.
You're not actually throughout 24 hours your experience of, see, the I thought comes and goes. It comes when there's no action happening. It comes. It dies off when you are doing some action. When you're doing any action, when you're involved in action, there is only Bhagavan, universe doing. Because you have no control. It will just go on happening. Your body, it's a mechanism. Your body knows what to do. Okay, it's like riding a cycle, no? You just let go. You keep pedaling. The pedaling goes on happening. Okay, the judgment and everything comes later, which is momentary.
Yeah, but that is what stays.
It doesn't stay. It only comes up when you inquire. It only comes up when you say, hey, what did I do? When you start questioning about what has happened. Your experience of depression is not, when I say you generally, our experience of depression, happiness, or whatever, body, being in the body, ego, it's all not constant. The ego is not a constant entity. It comes, it dies off. But when it comes next time, it fills up the gap. So it came in the morning, it disappeared, it came back again, but it cannot allow nothingness to be there. It will fill that nothingness with I was there constantly. I was there. It was not there.
Yeah.
But Murli, everything that we do is to say that every one of us, our actions are based on what satisfies us, right? I mean, predominantly that's what we try, and every action I think I do is to satisfy that requirement.
It's fine. See, I'm not talking about satisfaction or what you do. I'm telling you, when you're doing whatever you're doing, let's say you love cooking. Do you like cooking?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay, what do you like to do?
I like to teach. I think I like to teach.
You like to what?
Teach.
See.
Teach.
Teach. Okay, very good. So you like to teach. Teaching is an action, correct? When you start teaching, so let's say you started teaching at 10 a.m. You stop teaching at 10:30 a.m. Okay? There is no ego in between. There is no I. When I say ego, there's no I thought, because the teaching is happening. Teaching is an action. The I thought and the action cannot exist at the same time. Okay? So I thought came before teaching started. I thought came after teaching stopped, which says that I taught for half an hour. Okay? But I was not there throughout. Do you get what I'm saying, Savita?
I do, but why do we do what we do?
We'll
Why
come to
do
that.
I do what?
Yeah.
Wait. Before that, first thing, understand that the I is not constant. Is that clear, Vivek?
Yeah.
So your experience of I am the body is not most. Your experience of consciousness is actually the most. I am conscious is the more real and more experienced reality compared to I am the body. You say I am the body only when you become aware. When you suddenly become aware of your mind, you say, oh, I am sad. I've been sad throughout the day. I did all this, but it's a waste of time. What am I doing with my life? All that is thought coming now. But when you are living your life, it was I am consciousness. And all you have to do is remove this appearance of this thought pattern that comes once in a while. And your problem is solved. Your problem is not a lifelong problem. Your problem is only these moments that come up, which disturb you once in a while.
I would like to add to this. So I think now I'm getting what you were trying to say about these gaps, like how the I comes up. So so as you were saying, like in this lockdown period, I've started enjoying cooking. So while I'm cooking, there's no, it's only, I'm so engrossed in that there's no I, the feeling of I is not there.
Right.
So yesterday I cooked up a dish which my family, they enjoyed it.
Right.
And while we were having it, my dad said, my dad thought that it was my mom made it. And he gave her a compliment that, wow, this is, like, it tastes yum, it tastes very good. And
Right.
he appreciated her. And I suddenly said, no, it's I who prepared it. And until then, that I was not there. When I was
Right.
cooking and preparing the dish, I was like totally into it. And I was enjoying the process. But when my dad complimented my mom instead of me, so I suddenly said, it's not it's not she who prepared, I prepared it.
Yeah.
So it just came out of nowhere.
This is exactly how the ego works. The ego is not a constant entity. It is not perpetual. It comes and it goes. And the ego that came at 10 o'clock and the ego that came at 10:30, are they the same? Vivek, the ego that came before coding, that said I have to code, and the one that said I coded, is it the same?
No, two very different forms.
Two different waves. So it's your consciousness like water. In consciousness, a wave arises, the I wave, and dies. And then the wave of action arises. Action happens. The body and mind does action. It's also a wave in consciousness. Then it dies. Then another wave arises that says, I did it. This wave, this wave, this wave, all different waves.
But sorry, only my question still stands.
No, I'll come to that. I'll come to your question. I'm just answering Vivek's question first.
Okay.
Vivek, is this clear?
Yeah.
What do you think you are a continuous entity, Vivek? That's why I said Vivek King. You're not Vivek. The ego is, there is no frozen entity in you that you can claim this is constant. Neither the ego, nor the body, nor the mind. All appear and disappear in consciousness. In your own experience, what you experience most is God. and not individual. You think it is individual because you don't have understanding of God consciousness. The moment you get the understanding, the moment you're able to recognize consciousness, you will recognize consciousness more. That's the shift before and after enlightenment. Nothing will change after enlightenment. Body continues to do, mind continues to do. But you will recognize consciousness more, and you will almost zero recognition of ego.
But then who's enjoying that state of no mind? Because who's enjoying that state of flow? Why?
Okay, so who is enjoying comes from the assumption that there should be some enjoyer to enjoy.
But that's very real. I am enjoying when I'm not in that state of flow. There is enjoyment. There is a lot of joy.
There is enjoyment.
Yes, there's a lot of joy.
And then after that you say, I enjoyed.
Yes.
When you say I enjoyed, you have lost the enjoyment. It's coming from memory.
Yes.
When you were enjoying, there was no ego.
Yes.
When you are happy, happiness is there. There is no happy person. There's no individual. There is happiness. When you come out of happiness, you say, I was happy.
Yes.
Do you understand? When
Yes.
the ego is there, the enjoyer is Brahman only. There is no, in that sense, there is no enjoyer. There is enjoyment. Who is enjoying? If you ask, koi bhi nahi hai. There is enjoyment, there is action, there is doing, there is experiencing. There is no experiencer, there is no doer, there is no enjoyer. Do you understand? Our life is enjoying, happening, doing. But there is no individual doer, enjoyer, experiencer. And gnana is to remove, and rather not remove, make you aware of consciousness. So you'll start experiencing life as experiencing, doing, enjoying. Our problem is I, the claiming of this. So when you claim I enjoyed, you will seek more enjoyment.
Yeah.
When you enjoy, you're not seeking. If you observe, when you are happy, you don't seek happiness.
Yeah.
Because you're happy. When you are not happy is when you seek happiness. When you're not happy is when you say, I was happy. Sureka, I see full question mark.
Yeah, I'm just trying to process this and understand this, I guess. Because I'm thinking if there is enjoyment, if there is...
See, you paint, correct? You paint.
Happening.
There is painting that is happening. It's not a conscious process throughout. If it becomes a conscious process, you're intervening too much. And the action will stop. You will not go ahead. See, the more you start thinking in an action, you cannot do action. When you're painting, it's a thoughtless process. You start with a thought and later you let go. And something happens, your hands move, your hand goes on moving and something emerges. If the moment you start bringing thought, you'll stop. Okay, it's not going good. You understand? So painting is a happening. It's a doing. By whom? Who is doing the painting?
I guess my body is holding the brush and doing the action.
The body mind is doing. Okay? And you have no control. You have no idea how the body mind is doing. You think you painted, but you have no academic knowledge of how it is to be done, how it actually works. For example, Vivek, when you code, your knowledge is partial. You really do not understand the totality of its outcome or process. You might definitely know that if I write this line, this is the output that will come. But you do not totally understand the process of it happening and of its. So sometimes something happens in the magic of the moment. Some creativity comes out. You write something which surprises you. Does that happen?
Yeah, brainwave.
So that's all happening. It's a spontaneous action by the universe. There is doing, there is enjoying, there is experiencing. There is no doer, no enjoyer, no experiencer. But the ego cannot accept that. Somebody has to be there who's done, no? And that somebody is ego. And that somebody keeps changing. Somebody who did it at 10 a.m. is not the same somebody who did it at 10:30. But the ego says it's the same. It's only me, it's I. I only did it. I only did it yesterday. I only did the painting today. But what you say as I, you say I is body mind, but the body mind is completely changed. The real I is Bhagwan. There is only one I that we all claim. Vivek, you say I coded, right? Savita says I taught. Sureka says I painted. Are there three different I's? The same I that coded through Vivek, taught through Savita, painted through Sureka. Is it clear? And is teaching through me now. We all refer to the same I, but confuse it with the thought of I. There's a thought of I, and there's pure I, real I. So it's 1-4. If this much is clear, we can do the practice, how to go to the pure I. And then we can take up questions or stop. So shall we do that now? Is this part clear?
Yeah.
So there's I thought, which is called as ego, which is just the I thought, which comes and goes. Then there's a pure I, which is changeless, which is permanent, which is universal, which is the same for everybody. So how do I reach the pure I? Is the practice now. Shall we do a meditation for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Is everybody okay? Mamta? I don't see Mamta at all.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, fine.
Okay, Savita, are you following so far? Savita?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So we'll go reach the state of pure I, Atma. And the place of the pure I is Hridaya. Hridaya means the source of the I. Biologically, it's the heart center. It's this center. This is where we feel the I, the feeling of I. I did. You say, no? You don't say I did. You don't say I did. You say I did. The sense of I comes from here. So when we take the mind back to the source of the I is the pure I, Brahman, consciousness. Okay? From that comes the I thought, which comes and goes, which is not perpetual, which you will, which will become evident to you when you just observe your own day. You were listening to me for the last 2 hours. How many times did the I pop up? Let's say, Vivek, how many times your I popped up, feeling of I? Was it perpetual?
No. Few times.
Few times the listener popped up, but the listening was perpetual.
Yeah.
Okay, the listening is continuous. The listener comes and goes. Okay, so enlightenment is about going back to the source, beyond the listening, beyond the doing, beyond the experiencing, to the pure I, on which experiencing, doing, thinking happens. And on that experiencing, thinking, thinker, enjoyer, experiencer is born. In enlightenment, this top layer goes. Thinker, enjoyer, doer goes. But the listening, enjoying, experiencing continues. Did you understand what I said?
Yeah.
I have a question, if I may interrupt.
So here you have bottom layer, pure I, which is consciousness. On the pure I, there is some doing that is happening. There is some thinking that is happening. There is some experiencing that is happening. There is some enjoying that is happening. Okay? On this layer comes doer, the thought, doer thought, thinker thought, and experiencer thought, enjoyer thought. In enlightenment, this one disappears. No more thinker, doer, experiencer. Doing will continue. Thinking will continue. Some thoughts will come, but then nobody will claim. And thinking will become pure thinking. No unnecessary thinking will come. No bombardment of thought. Only whatever is required for that situation will come. And it will go. And when it comes and goes, nobody is there to claim that I thought this. So most of the time, the enlightened people, the Sadguru, they don't recollect what was told earlier. They tell it's forgotten because there's nobody to hold a story. That requirement to stitch a story is not there anymore. Experiencing will continue. The body will experience something. There's some disease, something, but there's no experiencer. Enjoying will continue. Whatever the body, mind happening. And all this will become a witness. You will become a witness to doing. You'll become a witness to the thinking that is coming. You'll become a witness to the enjoying. You'll become a witness to the experiencing. Right now, you're not a witness. You are the doer. That's why you have karma. You have become the thinker. That's why you have karma. You have become the enjoyer. That's why you have more craving. You have become the experiencer. That's why you have a sense of life. Okay? So in this meditation, we are transcending all this. We are stopping all the doing, stopping all the thinking, stopping all the experiencing, and jumping to the pure I. Shall we do that now? Everybody is okay?
Yeah.
Vivek, okay?
Yeah.
Veena?
Yeah.
Mamta?
Yeah.
Nishant?
Yes.
Savita? Okay, Surekha?
Yeah, I'm here.
Great. So we will, if it is possible, you can wear your earphones or headphones so that it will be like a guided meditation. You won't be distracted by any other sound. You can put on your earphones and headphones. But if the audio is good from your system, you can directly listen from it. So sit comfortably, close your eyes, sit comfortably. Close your eyes, sit comfortably. Relax, relax. First, we'll just scan the body from top to the bottom, from the top of the head to the bottom till the toes. Just scan, become aware of your head, of the top of the head, of your hair, of the top of the head. Become aware from the inside. Become aware of the skull, space between the skull, the brain. Become aware of your eyes. Become aware of your face. Become aware of your entire head, the space inside of the head. Become aware of your neck. Become aware of your chest. Become aware of the hand, the right hand. Become aware of the left hand. Become aware of your stomach. Take a deep breath so that your stomach expands as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, the stomach goes in. Become aware of your stomach. Become aware of your spine, the back. Become aware of the entire spine. Become aware of your right leg. Move your awareness from your thighs to the bottom and then to the feet. Right leg. Now become aware of your left leg, the thighs, your knee. Move to the bottom. Become aware of your feet. Now again, starting from the bottom, move back up. Become aware of the feet, the knee, and the thigh. Now move your awareness upwards back to the head, starting with the left leg. Become aware of the left leg. Move your awareness now to the right leg. Become aware of your feet, your calf, knee, thigh. Move upward. Become aware of the spine. Become aware of the stomach. Breathe in. Let the stomach expand. Breathe out. Become aware of your chest. Become aware of your left hand. Move your awareness in the right hand. Scan it. Scan and become aware of your neck, shoulder. Move your awareness as you scan through your head, your face, your eyes, and the top of the head. Now visualize your mind in your mouth as if you've eaten it. It could be like a ball of thoughts, and swallow it. And as you swallow it, it goes and reaches the heart center. You become aware of your mind in the heart center. Swallow your mind. Become aware of the heart center. The heart center is a center of pure consciousness. It is a center of God. It is your home. It is from the heart center that the individual comes out as a wave and the whole world springs out. Let us go back to our source and dissolve in the pure I. Become aware of the I thought or the feeling of I in the heart center and just hold on to that. If you get any other thought, sensation, distraction, again swallow the mind, go back to the heart center and hold on to the I. Hold on to the I thought, the I feeling. Slowly, the feeling of I dissolves in the pure I, pure consciousness. Just hold on to the I thought, I feeling in the heart center and sit silently. pure I, which is in the heart center. Pure I is Brahman, is God, Bhagwan, consciousness, pure consciousness. It is the same consciousness that operates through all human beings. It is infinite, it is birthless, deathless. It is deep silence. Hold on to the I and dissolve in deep silence. Become aware of your body again. Become aware of your breath. Become aware now of your eyes. Bring the mind to the eyes. Become aware of the eyes. Slowly open your eyes. So what happens, Vivek?
Little hypnotic.
Hypnotic.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Like if you would have not asked to open the eyes, I think I would have just continued for a long time.
That's a very good. That's a very good sign. So this is not meditation. What we did now is not dhyana. It is called as Nidhidhyasa. So I told you Shravana, Manana, Nidhidhyasa. Dhyana is playing with the mind, trying to modify the mind. Dhyana is modification of the mind. Meditation is modification or silencing of the mind. Nidhidhyasa is transcending the mind. It's dissolving the mind in the Atma. So what you did now is Nidhidhyasa, where you go to the root of the mind, root of thought, which is I. So yes, so Vivek, it's a very good that you wanted to continue it. So please continue the practice whenever. Now since we have lockdown going on, very nice to trying to do more Nidhidhyasa. The more and more Nidhidhyasa you do, the less are the possibilities of coming back. Nishant?
Yes, sir. It was really nice, but I was disturbed at the home a little bit. So was
Okay.
last 5 minutes I was not able to, but it felt really good, and I think I'm a little bit more peaceful now.
Okay, very nice.
This
Were you
exercise,
putting the mind in the
yes, I
source
did
of the
so.
eye?
Yes.
Okay. Was Mamta?
I'm just wondering if I went to sleep or what state did I go into.
Were you able to listen to my voice?
I was able to listen to your voice, yes.
So that's not sleep. So it's not unconscious. It's
It
you were
felt
conscious.
like I was just went into deep sleep.
That's good.
Yeah.
So the state of enlightenment is a state of deep sleep in the waking state.
I was hearing some birds chirping. I don't know from where it was coming. Somewhere, somebody's home, there are birds. Or is it just my mind?
No, it's here.
Conscious.
There are a lot of birds here.
Yes, you have a lot of birds here. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I could hear that. Yeah.
that's fine. So like I said, the hearing might continue. Your awareness is there, but if you were in unconscious state, you would not be aware of the external world. So to be enlightened is to be deeply silent but fully aware.
Yeah.
Veena? Can't hear you, Veena.
Yeah, is it audible?
Yeah.
So initially there were some thoughts, but I was following the instructions, like you were saying that you swallow the mind and bring it to the heart center. So slowly it started, the thoughts reduced and it was kind of complete silence.
Very good. So, Savita?
Not here.
She's not there? Okay. Surekha?
Yeah. So I guess it just felt like I was in a sort of a distant place.
Okay.
But I guess I couldn't sustain it for a very long time in the sense that I ended other people in the house and a lot of, sort of issues. So I couldn't sustain it for longer. But for a brief period of time, I felt like I was in a distant sort of
Okay.
place.
Sure.
Just
So,
very,
yeah.
Yeah, just dispensed. Rather.
Sure. So this is the best that can be given. Wherever you go in the world in seeking of enlightenment, this is the final point you'll come to at. There's nothing more beyond this. It is just inquiring and going back to the source, the I. And all the scriptures talk about it, all the masters talk about it. All the other practices are, like I said, to change the mind in a certain way. Okay, but this is for enlightenment, to go back to the source, to become Jivan Mukta. This is the only way, Nidhidhyasa. One is Shravana, you heard that I am consciousness, and you clarified your doubts in Manana. In Nidhidhyasa, you sit silently, do nothing, be nothing. Go back to the I. Dead end. Clear?
Yep.
That's it, there's nothing more. If you think that there is something, some other secret, some other way, that's it. This is the dead end. Vivek?
Yeah.
And wherever you go, you'll come to this end. Ultimately, the mind has to go back to the pure I.
Yeah.
Okay, so we extended by 30 minutes today. Any other questions? Shall we close?
Yeah. No questions.
We'll close, everybody?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so with gratitude for what we have received and the peace that we have received, you can all just hold your hand like this, and we'll chant Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, so that the entire world, we are spreading the peace and love to the entire world. Loka Samasta
Samasta
Sukhino Bhavantu.
Sukhino
Bhavantu.
Loka Samasta
Loka
Samasta
Sukhino Bhavantu.
Sukhino
Bhavantu.
Loka Samasta
Loka Samasta
Sukhino Bhavantu.
Sukhino Bhavantu.
Harihi Om.
Harihi Om.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Harihi Om.
Hari Om.
Okay, so we'll close for today, and we'll keep in touch on the group.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.